The first song that I ever wrote, almost originally, it was called Circus Face. It was picked up by a friend of mine who was a kind of erstwhile member of the Youngbloods. And the Youngbloods ended up recording my song because they thought it was his song, but it wasn't. So that was the first experience I had of having something of mine recorded. I was still a young mother, somewhere around there. I skipped a very important part. I went back to New York after being in Oregon. I only made it 1 year of college because I was already singing away. And a couple years later, I was singing on the Lower East Side in a cafe called Der Grüne Cockatoo, the Green Cockatoo. And these people kept coming back to see me over and over again, and it turns out they were casting for Hair. So I ended up in the cast of Hair in Los Angeles as a teenager. And I was going to be in the Broadway show, but they had too many girls, so they flew me to LA. And I was in that show for about a year and a half, and my boyfriend and I got pregnant. And I left the show when I was 6 months pregnant and had my beautiful daughter, who was amazing. And then I remember I took a yoga class and thought, wow, this is what I was looking for with drugs. And I really got into yoga. So I moved into this ashram with my baby and her father, and that lasted a couple of years. The Integral Yoga Institute in Los Angeles. The only singing I was doing was kirtan. And then I picked up the guitar, broke up with her father, and started wandering around doing gigs again. And I was at a party in LA at a place called Cyrus's Farm, which was John Sebastian's farm, really. And they were doing tie-dye. I don't know if you remember John Sebastian wearing a lot of tie. That's where they made it, in this farm. And I was sitting and singing in this living room, and there happened to be a really big record producer in the room, John Simon. And that was the turning point in my life. I ended up at his farm in Woodstock, in Ellenville, called Lookout Farm. We worked on putting a record together, and I went in the studio, and it was at a time when they had the really big budgets, the six-figure budgets on the major labels, and made 2 albums with RCA. Simultaneous to all that, though, I was studying. I was really starting to do a lot of study and practice. So I think my ambition was not so much to be a superstar as much it was to go on retreat and practice. So I was touring and doing gigs. I had RCA, I had a big manager, I had William Morris Agency, and yet I kept turning down stuff to go to the mountains and do retreats.